Somebody in the neighborhood got a drum, so at some point you may hear the drums in the background. Don't worry, nothing's going on. Today I'm going to be talking about motor vehicles and Sha-ken. Alright, it looks like the drum beat's going to come and go, so we'll see if we can work around it, and hopefully it won't be annoying for you. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about motor vehicles and the ritual of Sha-ken, or public insurance for cars. Basically, it's an inspection system. When you purchase a new car, every 3 years you have to go into the prefectural office, and they will do an inspection to make sure that all the pieces are working right. It's very similar to the inspections that you find in California and New York, except I don't think they do emissions as well. Some prefectures may, but I don't believe Osaka does them at this time. That said, brakes, muffler, alignment for the wheels, alignment for the headlights, making sure the headlights work, brake lights work, the electrical system is in general shape and will continue to function out on the roads. If you've ever driven in Japan, you know the roads are very, very narrow, even on the main highways, and there's really not much in the way of a shoulder, so they can't really afford to have cars breaking down on the side of the road. They inevitably do, but the Japan Auto Foundation, or JAF, does provide roadside service if you are a member, and it's a lot like AAA back home. So I said if you buy a new car, you have 3 years, and I believe you get 2 sets of 3 years, and then it goes to every other year. My car's a little older, so I have to go in every other year for the semi-annual inspection, biannual inspection, every 2 years inspection. Generally, the inspection with all the repairs and stuff involved with it generally costs me about 10 bills every 2 years to keep the car on the road, and it's nice because they do check the oil and they check and make sure that the engine's not going to blow up. And if there is a big problem, then they do let you know, and usually they will go ahead and fix it and then give you the bill anyway. My car's just hit the 100,000 kilometer mark, and so I'm also due for a timing belt, which is 60,000 miles back home, but I'm going to put it off for a little while because money, 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 money. Motorcycles and scooters also have to go through the similar process, and I believe it's a 3-year, 2 years on process for motorcycles and scooters as well as cars. It's not a horrible system, and if you take it to the shop, then they can go and do everything at the prefectural office, so you don't have to go, but it does cost you a little bit extra. It is possible to do Sha-ken on your own, and there are several websites that will take you through the process of what you have to do. Your Japanese should be decent, or at least you should have a cheat sheet so that you can recognize the kanji and make sure that you meet all of the standard criteria. However, one of the great things about living in Japan is that you don't have to have a car, particularly if you live in one of the big cities. Osaka, Tokyo, and Nagoya. It is totally possible to go through your entire time in Japan and never own a car. There are people that I know that are 30, 35, 40 years old, don't even have a driver's license. Public transport in Japan is safe, reliable, on time 99.9% of the time. And between the buses and trains, everything's safe. There is a time limit, though. They all shut down between midnight and 1 o'clock. And don't start up again until 4 or 5 in the morning, usually closer to 5 in the morning. And if you're going out to do a little drinking and a little partying, you don't want to take your car anyway because the drunk driving laws here are strict. Sha-ken is just one of those things that come along with the ownership of a car. It's part of the deal. The same way switching between summer tires and winter tires are also part of the deal. The other thing to remember when owning a vehicle in Japan is gas is really expensive. It's about $1.54 per liter now, and generally that's the average at this point. Even if the local roads are free, the highways and expressways tend to be toll roads. And unless the national highway system is running a deal based on the distance that you go, there's a good chance that it would cost you as much for a train ticket as it would for you to drive from one big city to the next big city if you take the Shinkansen. If you're out in the countryside or the inaka, then sometimes a car is a necessity. But keep in mind you have to make sure that you have a parking space, which you probably will have to pay for because most of the time they don't come in free with the apartments. So parking, gas, Sha-ken, toll roads, it's an expensive habit. So before you come to Japan and are eager to buy a car, think real hard about whether you need one or not. I would try to spend a year without one and see how it goes. If you still find that you need one, remember it's going to be a fairly noticeable expense every month, every year, depending on how you spread out the costs. I hear the drums even if you guys don't. So that's going to be it for vehicles and owning, but the Sha-ken can get really expensive if you're not careful and depending on how much you drive. So take care, drive safe, and don't drink and drive.